Never mind, I do have a couple of other Stephanies. I have a Stephanie. Yeah, okay. Anyway, one of the Stephanies, if she has kinky curly red hair, it's her. If y'all would like to see her. So anyway, I like Stephanie. So I searched her name on Facebook and she came up. And so I checked over her Facebook and I looked at her pictures and all of this kind of stuff. So then I didn't write on her timeline where everybody could see it, but I sent her a message on Facebook and told her who I was, neighbor across the road, and that sorry I hadn't talked to her much or did anything else with her. I explained how I was a shy person and we'd been busy and all that too, but that I did want to get to know her better and that, you know, maybe we could do something sometime and get together. So she answered me back. So we've talked a lot back and forth on Facebook and still kind of do. But I ended up inviting her for lunch one day. I found out what days she works. She's off every Sunday, every Monday. Of course, I wouldn't be able to do anything with her Sunday unless she would go to church with us, you know. But anyway, she's off every Sunday, every Monday, every Tuesday. And then every Wednesday, she works only half a day, but it's in the evening part of the day after lunch. So the morning part of Wednesday she don't work, so she would be available then for something. And then every other Saturday she works and every other Saturday she's off. So I know her off days, so she does work. What she does though is she sits with an adult girl. Now, I say adult, she may be a teenager, but if so, she could be like in her early teenagers, which they still kind of consider that adult. Did I say early or later? I meant later, you know, the older teenage years. But she could be in her 20s. She's kind of a youngish type girl, adult, but she's autism. She has autism. So she sits with her. That's her job. Okay, but I know her off days, so I know what days that I can invite her to do things and stuff. So I invited her to come over here and have lunch with me one day on one of her off days. I think it was a Tuesday. I'm not totally sure. It might have been a Monday. Can't remember. Anyway, so I fixed egg salad sandwiches. I had bought chips dip, olives, mushrooms, the little blocks of cheese to snack on, you know. I had all that sitting out. I love that kind of eating and doing that away. And then some drink. Of course, she brought her own drink. That's fine. But, so, you know, I invited over. I fixed all that. She came over. I had Gracie here, so she met Gracie, and so I still had to watch and tend to Gracie, feed Gracie, play with her. But we sat at the table over there and ate and talked and got to know each other a little bit better. And then we even, after we ate, we come in here and sat down in the living room part. Now I had cartoons on for Gracie, but me and her sat here and we talked. So I really like her. She's a nice friend. And that day when we talked, I found out. Now she is not a paper crafter like us, but she's a crafter. She has a Cricut machine, but now what she uses hers for why did I say that like that? She showed me some pictures on her phone of things that she's made. She makes the big words and designs and stuff and puts them on like vases and mugs and that sort of a thing. That's also part that she has done with it. But she has a craft room. I've not seen it. I hope to see it one day. But I've not seen it, but she does have a craft room. Matter of fact, she showed me on the over there at her house, on her porch is not like ours and all the way across the front of our house. It's about halfway, I guess, or maybe a little more. You walk up her walk up on her porch. Well, to go to her door, let me get over here in view. Alright, so this is her house. This is her porch. You walk up on the porch, but you turn this away and her door is there. So it's a wall that comes out like this, and you walk in, and that's her living room. But this wall here and window here is her craft room. That's what she told me. Okay. So she has a craft room. She has cricket, and she does that sort of kind of crafting. But she does also watch. She don't have a channel that I know of. I mean, she didn't say I have a channel. She didn't say I don't have a channel. I didn't tell her I have one and that I did videos like this, or used to. Like I said, at that time, that day that she came over and had lunch and we was talking and I was learning all this, I wasn't doing my videos. I had stopped by then. So I didn't mention anything about my channel, used to having it, and she didn't say that, but she does search videos and watch them on YouTube and craft videos, and she even sees flowers, and she pulled up some and showed me some. She said, look at this. She said, I would love to learn how to make this. And some of them were paper flowers and stuff. So I got excited and I told her, I said, look, we are going to plan to have a craft day one day, and you're going to come over here and we're going to do some crafting together. So we plan to do that. We ain't done that yet, but we plan to do that. She don't really like to read. She's not a reader much. She says every now and then she might read a book, but she don't really, you know, not a big reader. So, and then we also, since she has this 1-year-old grandbaby boy, we're going to try to get together. I'm going to have Gracie. She's going to have Jax. She has a swimming pool over there for him when she gets him. She lets him get in the swimming pool. So she's invited me to bring Gracie over and do that. I've talked to Katie about it already, and she said that was fine. We see the pool's out there now, so Katie has seen what it looks like. She says it'll be fine. Just sit in a chair close to the pool and really be watchful. You know, it's not a deep pool. It's not a little bitty kid's pool. I could actually get in there and sit down. Me and Stephanie could. But I'm not going to. I'm not that comfortable yet with that. Maybe later on as I get to know her. But I can sit in a chair by the pool and watch Gracie real good. And if she slips and falls, jump. Stephanie says she don't fill it all the way up with water, you know, to where if they fall, they're going to be under, their face would be underwater. She don't fill it up like that. But, you know, be watchful and jump and grab her if I need to. I can do that. So, we plan to do that. Also, Stephanie asked me, you know, this was not long after we had our dinner here. She got her grandson, and she had told me about it, and she said, I'm going to have him, and, you know, we can get together, and you can have Gracie and go with us, and we'll go to the splash pad. They have a splash pad. Blah, 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 blah. They have a splash pad, getting tongue-tied here in town, and I didn't know that. So she said she takes Jax to that a lot, and that me and Gracie could go with them for that. So I talked to Katie about that one. She said that on that one she would want to go with us to be there because Gracie is so fast at running away and getting away from you, and me not being that used to a little one, she would want to be around, you know, for that. But she don't mind the swimming pool thing out there. So we plan on getting together with our grand youngins, and we plan on getting together and having a craft day and just get to know each other more. So I have made her, because I wanted to thank her for coming to dinner, and, you know, try to be more of a good friend to her, let her know that I really wanted to be friends with her. I made her a craft. I made her a little journal out of cards. So the envelopes was pockets that she can keep mementos in. The cards were the pages that you open up. So it, you know, I didn't decorate the cards. It was just the cards in there. Now the white parts of the cards, I did decorate some of those pages, but it's where she can write things in there, and she can save mementos, coupons, tickets, whatever she wants to use it for. I told her, you know, and explained it to her. I made that for her, and I got on Facebook and I told her, while I was making it, I got on Facebook and told her I was making it. And then, when I got it done, I told her it was finished, that, you know, let me know whenever she gets home from work, and not busy, and I'll bring it over to her. So that evening when she got home from work, she texted me, because I now have her number in my phone, and we text each other sometimes. Not very often yet, but sometimes. So she texted me and told me she was home, that I could bring the gift over if I wanted to. So I did. I took it over there, and that's how I know how her living room is. I was only in her living room. So like I said, that side wall, when you go in that door, that's her living room, and it's kind of long like ours, but not as long, I don't think, and not as big. And then at the end, when you walk down to the end, is her kitchen like ours, but her door is not in the middle like ours, it's on the side. But also the wall over here on the side of the door, and I know you can't see me, it has an opened cutout in it, and you looking over into the kitchen and stuff like that. But that's all I seen of her house. I didn't see her craft room. I want to one day, so I plan to do that too. And I didn't show her all of my house. All she's seen in my house is the living room and the kitchen. The utility room, of course, because when you walk in the kitchen, you can see into there. And that's all. I didn't show her the bedrooms and the bathroom. But anyway, that's my new friend, and that's what we plan on doing and getting to know each other more, and I'm excited about that. So now that I've told you that, we went over 20 minutes, and we're 11 minutes into this video. If it gets more of another 20-minute video, which it probably will, or close to it, I may just put this up. Instead of one big long one, put it up as part 1, part 2. But the part 1, part 2 will both be up today. Do it like that. Looks like I'm going to have to get used to that anyway if YouTube takes away my YouTube editor. Anyway. Video editor is what it's called, I think. Oh, I'm yawning, I'm burping, and I'm hiccuping. Lord have mercy. I'm sorry. Excuse me. Okay, my book club. We have the library here in town, and matter of fact, it's pretty close, just right down the road, and I like that. And so, I went to the library and looked around in it and checked it out, and I asked, because I wanted to ask about a book club, because years ago, when we lived in Mississippi before we moved to Tennessee and all, I would go to Hattiesburg Library, and they had a book club going there, and I had joined that book club, and so I wanted to see if this one had one. So sure enough, they have one, and I was so glad. If they didn't have one, I was going to see if they would let me start one there. But they had one. So so I've joined it, and I joined in the middle of while they were reading a book, but I made it in time that I was able to get that book and bring it home and read it and go to that meeting to talk about that book. And it was a fun book. It was an older one about a little boy and his dog. I think I mentioned that to y'all in one of my other videos some point along the way. But anyway, or it might have been in my text group. I texted and told them about or something. I can't remember. But anyway, it was cute. A little boy and his dog, and how the dog would do, and the adventures they went on and stuff like that. It was so fun. It was actually the little boy, the author of the book, the man was the little boy, and he was writing about himself and his adventures with his little dog, and he lives in Jackson, Mississippi. So anyway, then when we talked about that one, they actually had the movie of that book. And she turned it on, and they were watching the movie. Now, I didn't get to stay for the whole movie because it was running into late. The library actually closed. But we were going to stay there. They were going to stay there and watch the whole movie. But I had to come on home because Katie was here with Gracie and Elizabeth, and I needed to get on back home. It was getting late, you know. Supper time. Albert was going to get... Actually, he was home from work by the time I got here. So, that's how late that had ran. But they had the movie of the book, and because we had read the book and talked about it, then she was going to let us watch the movie. So that was cool, even though I didn't get to see the whole movie. I would like to get it, though, and watch it sometime or another. But anyway, so then the book that we picked out to read next was, y'all have heard of these Yada Yada prayer group? ladies, those books. That's a series. Well, it's the same. Let's see, Annetta Jackson, I think is her name. The same lady that writes those had started a different series, but it's with the same people. It's just not the yada yada prayer group. It's about a homeless home called Manor House. I had to think and remember. And House of Hope, that is the name of the series book, something like that. Yada Yada House of Hope, something like that. So it was the first book in that series that we got. I got that book, brought it home, I read it, I loved it. OMG, I loved it. Loved it, loved it, loved it. Really, really, really enjoyed reading that book. So then we went and had our second club meeting, talked about that, and that was fun and enjoyable. No movie there. Oh, and they always have cookies and something to drink at our book club, so that's cool too. While we're talking, we eat cookies and drink. So now they've picked another book. Oh, and what they do that I wasn't used to, because the Hattiesburg Book Club didn't do this. When we first get there and sit down, they have got several books laid out on the table, and we all look at the books and then push them around to the next person to look at. So you look at it, you read the back of it, what it's about, to see if you would be interested in reading that book. That's how they pick your next book. They let you do that, and then the library lady that's over it, because she is a library lady that works there, and then there's another library lady that actually sits in too, kind of helps her out, but that one is the main one's over it all. She does the talking, she asks the questions and stuff like that, and but this lady helps her out, and she's the one that like put the movie on that day, that first time, and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, so, you know, we look and we choose, then she'll talk to us and ask us, now what books did y'all like, which one would you be interested in doing next time? And that's how we pick our next book. And so the book we picked next, if I'd stop getting tongue-tied, was it's a Christian reading book. That's how I call them. They're called inspirational books, I guess. And if I ain't mistaken, I'm thinking I've read it before. If I've not read this book before, I have read a book by this author before. And it's Francine, or that may be the last name. I can't remember. Some of you may know who I'm talking about. Pascal? Francine Pascal? Is that how it goes? Something like that. And now I can't remember the name of the book, but it's one of those. So it's another Christian type book. So I'll like that. It's romance, kind of. You know, it's not a mystery. It's not really even that one, the Yada Yada Prayer Group, that's not like mystery. It's not right up my alley, but because it's Christian, that's what really makes me really like it. So I like this book, and they picked that book. But now what they do, and this part I don't like about it, they you know, you pick your book out like that, but they only have that one book that their library has. So once you pick that book out at the club meeting, you're talking about the book you just read. You look at all these books and you choose which book to read. You know, everybody agrees on one book. Well, they only have that one book. So once we pick our book, the library lady says, okay, I'm going to order, you know, everybody their book, and when it comes in, I'll call you and let you know. So she's having to order it. Now, we have a whole month. The book club is only, you know, meeting is only once a month. So you have a whole month to read a book. But I am a slow reader, and especially when it's a thick book. And this next book is a very thick book. I'm kind of a little worried about this. I hope it's all going to turn out okay. But she's got to call in and order everybody's book. And I think she gets them from all kind of different libraries all over. Because, I mean, there's like 8 or 9 ladies that comes to this book meeting. And they're all older ladies, gray-headed widows. That's fine. The 2 library ladies, the main one over the book club, and the one that helps her, are the younger. They're probably, they may not be in their 20s, 40s, somewhere. I don't think they're in their 40s, my age. But all the other ladies are older, but I guess that's okay. You know, I would like to have somebody that's more my age, you know, to hopefully make another friend. But anyway, so she orders these books from all over other different libraries. And they don't all come in at once, you know. So whenever they do come in, she calls, okay, and I guess she has everybody on a list in order when you, because they do pass a list around to sign her name, and that may be what that's for. I'm not even sure what that was about. Guess I should have asked, huh? But anyway, everybody was writing their name down on a list, and they passed it around. So anyway, so, you know, she'll call somebody and say, okay, your book's come in, and they'll come get it. Well, all of us is not getting our book at the same time. So, this is going to be a part 3 video. Oh, my word, I don't like this. But I can't help it. So, anyway. So, when she gets to my name on the list, I guess that's what I'm trying to say, and my book comes in, and she'll call me and say, okay, your book is in, and I can go get it. Well, some of this month has already passed by. I'm still waiting on my book. I ain't got it yet. Once I get it, I'm not going to have a whole month to read this book before we have to go have our club meeting and talk about it. Will I get this book totally all the way read before the book club meeting to go talk about it? That's what I'm worried about. But what I did, since I didn't have that one right away, and I didn't really have any other book to read either, so she had, because she also had the other books, 1, 2, 3, and 4, I can't remember how many it was, might even be 5. The one that we had just read, the Yada Yada House of Hope, that Manor House Homeless Shelter, that book was about, the last one we read for the book club. She had all the others in that series there, and we looked at them, and she said this is just in case y'all want to finish reading this series. And I did, because I really loved that book. So I got the second one in that one. I didn't order. She handed them all to me. She said, because I was the only one who wanted to continue reading that series. She handed them all to me. So here, you can check them out. I said, well, I better check out just one at a time, because I'm a slow reader, and I probably wouldn't be able to get them all checked out. And she said, okay, you just check out one at a time if you want to. So those all must have been there for that library there. So I checked out the second one. And that's the book I'm reading on now, and it's good too. It continues on, you know, because the other one, the way it left out, oh, I didn't like the way it ended. Oh my word, no. So it's continuing the story on, and I'm enjoying reading it. I guess I could show it to y'all. That way y'all would know and see. Let me go get it. Sorry, I'm not gonna be in here for a minute. And I'm slow and stiff, back kind of hurting. I'll be back. Maybe you can hear me. I'm still here. I'm getting my book. It's in my hand. I'm turning around, walking back to you. Yeehaw. Okay, let me get that down. Ooh. So, a Yada Yada House of Hope novel, it's called. And the name of this one is Who Do I Talk To? And of course, that's talking about Jesus. The first one was named Where Do I Go? And of course that means the shelter, manor house. So this is what it looks like. This is book 2. So, Netta Jackson. And I'm loving it. I've got this much read. And I've got this much read. Because that's the front. And I got this much left to go, so I got more to go than what I've read. So, I ain't halfway through it yet. But I don't have my other one yet for the book club next meeting. So I'm worried about that. So see, I'm reading on this, and when they do call me and say that one's in, I'm still going to be reading on this one. So I'll have to read on this one and that one. And I'll have to recheck some books out. And I may not get finished with that book. I may have to just... Hopefully they'll let me be in the meeting and talk about what part of it I've read, and just, even though I'm not finished, and maybe recheck it out so I can finish reading it. I don't know how that would work and how that would go. Anyway, I'm loving my book club. I've been to 2 meetings, read 2 books, talked about 2 books, waiting on my 3rd book to come in to talk about, so I can go to that meeting and talk about it. Love it. Okay. Yep, I've got a 20-minute video, another 20-minute video, and now a 5-minute and something video. So do I do part 1, part 2, part 3? Or since I can still use YouTube Editor for right now, at least put this 5-minute one onto the last 20-minute. That'd be 25. It'd be a part 1 20-minute and a part 2 25. Almost 26 now. I don't know what to do. Help! You'll know what I decided when you see the video. Okay. I'm going to do my best to make I'm still here by myself. Nobody's come up. This is a cloudy day, not sunshiny at all. So, I am going to try to go make my other videos to have on hold waiting. So the next video I'll put up tomorrow. And I think, I'm not sure what video. I started to say what video. I'm not sure. I got to decide on what video it's going to be. I know what I said and where it's at in line, the next one. But I may do others first before I do this one. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I got to think about it. Remember my giveaway I mentioned that's coming up. Y'all start letting your subbies know that a good giveaway's coming up, that you're fixing to join and that you want them to join with you. Yep. It's going to be fun. I hope y'all will think it's as fun as me. And we'll participate. Okay, I'm out of here until next time. I'm done. I'm gone. Toodaloo!